This just kicks my ass. Look at this. You know, I've been in the concrete business for a long time, and a setup like this is not cheap. And I have one question for you. This little handicap ramp is exactly what this is for access down to the water. Okay. Now, you look at the bottom. There's no railing at the bottom. And then it's going to have right down there. It's going to have a landing. It has a landing every so many feet. And it's 20 to 1. It has a landing that turns the corner, and it goes all the way down for a wheelchair. Okay, so this is a wheelchair ramp, and you can see the size of it, and it's built so that people, the handicapped people in wheelchairs, can go all the way down to the water. Now, there's two questions I have regarding this. Okay, there's stairs on this side for those of you not in a wheelchair, maybe on crutches, I don't know. Okay, so if you look at the landing, they're obviously preparing for just have one guy in a wheelchair, and it's not deep enough for a boat. So let's go down there, shall we? Get a little bit closer look at this thing. So look at that. So there's no railing down here. And there's two questions I have for you. The first one is, if a wheelchair loses its brakes and goes all the way down here, there is nothing to stop him from falling into the lake or hitting those rocks right there. So why would we do this? And the answer to that is very simple. It's the law. You have to have access for handicapped people everywhere, even if it doesn't make any sense. So we're going to simulate somebody coming down this ramp full speed and what could possibly happen to them. Okay, and I'm going to do this with you guys because this doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I understand being fair to people, but yeah. Anyway, so I mean, this is where it goes, and it goes all the way back up again. So this is going to be let's see. Let's see. We'll have to do this in time lapse, I think. But anyway, this is a guy losing his brakes, going down this ramp, and what could possibly happen. There you go. I'll leave it to your imagination. So if he's coming down the ramp, and here he comes, and all of a sudden he realizes he's lost his brakes, so he's trying to slow down a little bit. He hits the flat spot, but he doesn't stop, and he's careening out of control, and he's bumping along, and so that's what it would look like. So now you got a first-hand view. I hope I didn't break the camera on this thing. It's pretty tough, so I'm not worried about it. Hey, it's still videoing. Anyway, and then there's two things about this. Number one, this is about a 2-foot drop to the water, and then the rocks are about 6 or 8 inches below that. So basically it's 3 feet down if he falls in. And there's all kinds of things down there sticking up which could skewer him, and he's going to land on these rocks. So between the speed he gains coming down this ramp to flying off the end of this concrete to landing on the side of that hill, which is going to tip him this way if he lands straight up, and straight down into the water like that, which in about 8 feet it's going to be about 6 feet deep. How the hell is he going to survive that? Now, I'm all for being fair, but this is ridiculous. So there at the very least ought to be a removable handrail at the bottom of this ramp for the guy to stop if so there's my rant. Fairness in ADA, American Disabilities Act. So, and that's something I deal with quite a bit on my jobs. I'm all for it, don't get me wrong. And I think it's great that a guy in a wheelchair who has some inspiration can go down and fish. I think it's a wonderful thing, but you can't create a situation that's worse than him sitting up here wishing that he could fish. If he was sitting up here on this bank wishing he could fish, he's safer than rolling down this ramp. That's my point. So, okay. So enough of that nonsense.